everything in this world that is immoral is girls who suck dick and take dick in the butt like a complete and total slut. Or women, in other words. And what is absolutely unnatural and immoral about doing that, look at animals, for example. No animals do that shit. At least no animals I have ever heard of in my entire life partake in such a evil, wicked, twisted, perverse, upside down, backwards act. That is just filthy and disgusting to the most fullest possible extent. And even if there are animals that do that, we as human beings are superior and higher than animals, which is a fact and is true. So really, we should be better and greater than animals. We shouldn't even be looking to animals at all to wonder what's okay and what's normal and what's fine for us human beings to do. And I know a lot of people say there's a bunch of articles on the internet that say, oh, this certain specific animal sucks, gives oral sex or does anal sex or whatever. I don't believe that for a second. The person, whoever the person was or whatever, who wrote that article and published it online for the whole world to see and made it public, could easily be lying. And I thought there was a really famous saying, don't believe everything you read or hear. And I don't, at least myself, and so none of you should. And the person who also wrote that could have easily been paid a shit ton of money to put out something that's a false, fake lie and flip something that's true and publish and make public a lie. And people are paid a lot of money to write articles about whatever on the internet. They get paid tons of money. I mean, I would love to write articles online, and if I were to, I would only make public articles that are nothing but the truth. I would never lie. Even if my life were threatened, I would never lie when publishing an article online. Never. And, I just have something to say to, or I have a question to ask all guys out there, all over the whole world. Would you actually and honestly kiss a woman on the mouth or on the lips, in other words, who has sucked your dick? Because I think the answer to that question would be no. I think it would be a flat out hard no. If you really thought deeply about it and strongly about it, I don't think you would. At least not in your right state of mind. But people's minds are so broken and sick and backwards and upside down and twisted, so much to the point where people are just acting totally insane, doing all these immoral, unnatural things that completely and totally go against nature. And no human being should ever partake in such a vulgar act, such as oral sex or anal sex. And you know what is weird? you're not going to get pregnant from the butt. You're not going to get your girl pregnant from the butt. You're not going to get her pregnant from the mouth or her nostrils or her ears or her eyeballs. The only place a woman can give birth is from the vagina. And that is a fact. But men have just totally taken that and perversed it so much to the point it's just revolting. It's so sickening. It's tragic how human beings have become, what human beings have evolved into. We're acting worse than animals. We're acting literally worse than beasts of this world. And that goes for domestic animals and wild animals, but more so wild animals that are in the wild. And, you know, I honestly don't mind if a guy, or any guy for that matter, wants to eat ass or eat pussy or whatever, or suck titties, but as a girl, like, if you're a girl, wouldn't you at least be hesitant on making out with a guy or kissing a guy or whatever, in whatever way, who eats your ass a lot and eats your pussy a lot? I don't think you girls would. At least, I think at the very least you would be hesitant to doing that. Because think of how much germs are on a human being's butt. A girl's butt or a girl's vagina, whatever. I mean, I guess it would be okay for a guy to do that to a woman's tits, but then again, that's really for the baby. After the baby is born. And so really, all you could really do is maybe squeeze a bare ass or something. I don't know. But I just think human beings have become so, what's the word? Just so have become so low. Like, for what we have evolved into, human beings have become so low. And, you know, that's why I don't, in a way, don't want to get a girlfriend, because, like, if I were to get a girlfriend, I know that she probably won't be a virgin. She probably will have smoked and done drugs. And that's another immoral thing. Because do any animals smoke and do drugs? No. That is definitely a fact. No animals smoke or do drugs. And it's like, my God, why can't people get a high another way by exercising? Whatever way that may be. Biking, swimming, running, whatever way that may be. Or why can't they get high off movies or TV show or food? Food you really like a lot. Just keep eating until you get high off of it. I don't know. Like, is that not enough? Do you really need to smoke and do drugs? Because I don't think so. I think it is absolutely unnecessary. But yet, it's what happens in our world, in our reality. Our broken down, crumbling society. It happens all the time, every day, every month, every week, every year, and it's just tragic. Tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And you know, another thing that's immoral is abortion. Like, if you really don't want to have a kid, here's a tip. Don't have intercourse at all. Don't do anal, don't do oral, don't get with a guy at all until you're financially capable of supporting a family. Because messing around is only for people who have either good paying jobs or great paying jobs. But if you're working minimum wage, then just jack off. Just jack off. Just back off and jack off. Because you should not be messing around not only with someone you're not married to, but someone who you probably won't be able to support financially. I mean, it's already expensive enough to support yourself alone. And then you have a woman who just might have children, and who knows how many children she may have. And it's not like animals commit abortion. They don't do that. And like, girls should just stop opening up their legs. And really, condoms don't always prevent, and they don't always do that good of a job of preventing a woman from getting pregnant. And women who do go through abortion, eventually, even if it's much later in their life, eventually regret it and are crushed and pretty much haunted for the rest of their life by the fact they did something so cruel to something so innocent. And I don't know. It's just, this world is so fallen. It's just so fallen, and it keeps on falling. And nobody's even trying to speak out or really do anything about it, or even at least try. I mean, there are some, but not many. And the few who do, don't get that much recognition because the media doesn't want people to know the truth. That goes for Hollywood and YouTube. They don't want people to know the truth. They want all these sheep to be blind, brain dead, brainwashed, and deceived. They want their minds to be warped and broken and not working or functioning right, to believe that anything that's wicked, evil, bad, horrible, awful, terrible, whatever, is such a good thing. And I'm disgusted, utterly disgusted about the fact that Hollywood, or should I say Helly Weird, puts up with this stuff and promotes this stuff. And whether or not what religion you believe, Hollywood is run by a very dark spirit. The real leader behind Hollywood, I mean Helly Weird, is not just, rich men. Because they're being controlled by a dark spirit, a very dark, sinister spirit. Because they're always trying to promote and push and force upon this world their sick, twisted, sewage-infested, immoral, unnatural, vile, vulgar, revolting, sick, twisted, backwards, upside down agenda. That is just disgusting. And it's sad. And, other immoral things are being gay and being lesbian, being bisexual, and especially being transgender or transsexual or pansexual, because animals don't change their gender. And no animals do that. Not any of them. Like, it really seems like animals have way more of a mind than human beings do. Human beings are getting to the point where they're becoming so much more just lower than animals. In this era, in this generation, in this time we live in, animals are in a way more superior and more better and moral and normal and whatnot than human beings. It's sad that this is what this world is coming to. And also, animals don't become gay, they don't become lesbian, they don't become bisexual, they don't become transsexual or transgender, they don't become pansexual, which means fuck anything that walks. They don't do that. You don't have animals that are having intercourse with like human beings or whatever, but you do have human beings who will try to do it with animals. And people are just, their minds are getting so damaged. And it's all thanks to Hollywood, whatever, and the mass media that is just confusing people with all their movies and all their TV shows, even in the video games, magazines, newspaper articles, and of course, online news websites and whatnot that are just infested with nothing but pure sewage. This world is collapsing so fast. And it's not looking pretty.